here with the Westminster branch of the Carroll County Public Library, and I'd like to introduce you to some members of my family. This is my daughter, Sarah. And so, Sarah, who do we have here?
These are our rabbits, Star and Snowball.
Okay. So, about how old are Star and Snowball?
Star is about 4 years old, and Snowball is about 2.5.
Okay. So, are there different kinds of rabbits, different breeds?
Yes, there are many, many different breeds of rabbits. Their main breed is a giant, but they are not pure giants. They are only half at least, which Snowball's half, and she's a quarter. But the more giant, the bigger the rabbit.
Okay. So how big does a giant rabbit normally get to be?
About twice the size of Snowball, which would make him about like 25 pounds.
Right. So Snowball's about this big. She's about 10 pounds, isn't she?
She's like 13.
13 pounds. So she's about maybe the size of your cat.
Yeah.
She's about that heavy. And so about how big is Star here?
Star is probably closer to like 9 or 8 pounds. She's much smaller, but it's also because she's older, so she doesn't have as much weight anymore.
Okay. Okay. So how did we get Star and Snowball?
So I was in the veterinary classes at Winters Mill High School, and I was studying rabbits, so I adopted Star from a friend, and then I bred my rabbits in class, and Snowball was actually the offspring of those two.
Okay. So and she came to the
she's
Okay. So if you wanted to get a rabbit for yourself, where would you get a rabbit? Where are rabbits?
You can get them a lot of places, but where I recommend first to look is the Humane Society, because they do have a lot of good animals that really do need homes. So I would really start looking there. Then you can branch out to like other breeders and stuff like that, but there are already too many like pet rabbits that don't have homes. So start with your Humane Society, I would recommend.
Okay. So where in our home do our bunnies live?
Our bunnies live in my living room. That's not, like, most people have them outside, but because we're, like, in the city, it's kind of hard to have them outside, so they stay inside with us. They move around, they run around our house. We do have stuff on our wires to make sure they don't eat them. Like, we have to bunny-proof everything, but they're pretty good.
So you said bunny proofing. What kind of things do you have to make sure that if you have a bunny and they're a house rabbit, like ours are, that they don't get into?
You would have to worry about wires, especially when they're plugged in. They can electrocute themselves and they don't know what they're doing when they're biting into it. Be concerned about the bottoms of furniture. If they're wooden, when your rabbit is teething, it will bite it, just because if you put other wooden toys in the cage, then that'll like resist them from doing that. But besides that, you really just got to make sure they aren't clawing stuff up. Make sure you trim their nails. Make sure they have hay to bite on and wood and stuff.
Okay, so, and it's my understanding that they chew like that because their teeth continue to grow. So they need that chewing. That's why they bite and they chew on things, is to keep their teeth at a good level.
And that is what the hay is for, actually. The hay, their constant hay diet actually dulls down their teeth, and if they didn't have that, their teeth would actually just grow into the bottom part of their jaw.
And we don't want that.
Yeah, it would hurt them.
So what else do our rabbits eat then?
Our rabbits have a diet of a half a cup of their dry food once a day, but then twice a day they get about like a good size bit of fresh vegetables, which is like leafy greens, that kind of thing. You can find many websites online that tell you what's good and what's bad for rabbits. We have plenty of books at the library. And then they also get hay. They have to have constant supplies of hay, which I was just talking about, for their teeth and their muscles.
So what are these little bottles they have on the side of their cages?
Those are basically the same thing as you would for a hamster. It's a water bottle that there's a ball in the bottom, they push the ball and the water runs out.
Okay. And there's this brown paper in the bottom of their cage. Why do we have brown paper in the bottom of the cage?
So that's basically like your version of kitty litter, but for rabbits. So we change the litter every time, but it allows them to have one place of their own that they mark as their territory. So we'll leave their cages open if they feel scared. This is their spot. We can't go into their spot, and we can't drag them out of their spot or shock them.
And you were talking about their nails. So about how often should they have their nails checked?
Not too, like, usually I just start to notice when, like, she's running around on the carpet, if her feet get stuck, then I usually do it. Really, you just want to make sure that if you are trimming them yourself and you've never done it before, do not, like, watch some videos first, please. Like, make sure you know what you're doing before you start handling shears near a rabbit.
Right, so it's a good idea to be in contact with your local vet and get some information from that. Some information we have, like Sarah said, we have lots and lots of books at the library. And if you really love working with rabbits, there's at least one club, there's several clubs, 4-H clubs that work with rabbits here in the county, and you can learn how to take care of your rabbits. And you can learn how to show them and get to know rabbits. So, is there anything that I missed?
If you need anything else, ask your information desk at the library.
All right, so we are very happy that you guys have met our rabbits and hope that you are still involved with the library and our express checkout. And remember, we're always there to answer your questions. Bye, guys.